go live. And oh, he's here already. Okay. Well, okay. Hey, what's up, Sean?
Hey, must be early.
What does that mean?
Huh? Must be earlier. Actually, what it means is I must have been late too many times.
Oh, no. I've been writing code for the past like hour and a half, and then I had to
Hmm.
take a 5 minute break to try to take a 2 minute nap, and then I went back to my desktop and sent you an invite. I
Gotcha.
don't know if you've been like, I don't know, browsing YouTube and seeing me live all the time, but I've put in so many hours that I'm like, I think I'm mentally like cracking.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I'm like last night I went to bed at like maybe 7 o'clock, and I didn't wake up until like 5 this morning. So I've been pretty exhausted, man.
Hmm. Yeah, I've been popping in every once in a while, and I'll watch you for a little bit, and then listen to some gangster rap or some
Viking music and
Viking music or Ronin music or whatever, and pop out.
I want to show you something.
I saw
So,
that you were. I saw that you had a question about SignalR yesterday, so
oh man,
I'm interested to see what you what you went how you went on that route.
it's still not resolved. I mean, like, so I'm able to connect to SignalR, and I just literally tested maybe 20 minutes ago. SignalR feeding my courier location to my customer app, which is cool. But I don't know, like the documentation for SignalR is like documentation for WCF. Like, there's like four different ways of doing one thing, and like there's nothing that's consistent, and I can't find any documentation on the client side. How do I configure a connection for a specific group? What I want to do is configure a connection for a specific user, but that seems to be tightly coupled with like Microsoft identity, whatever, whatever. And I'm
Hmm.
like, okay, I'm not sure if I'm ready for that right now. So I'm like, okay, well, if that's tightly coupled to Microsoft identity, whatever, whatever, what if I could just make a group, and that group is going to be the order request ID, right? That's the name of the group. And so if whoever knows the actual GUID that's generated that happens to be the order request ID, then sure, they can jump in on that group and receive updates, which is really just me, the admin, and the customer, right? And the courier. The courier is publishing messages to that group. I'm the admin if I want to hop in and observe, and the customer is receiving those status updates from the courier. I can't for the life of me figure out how to configure that on the client side to subscribe to that group when spinning up a connection. So
Hmm.
that's one of the reasons why I tapped out last night and I just slept forever. Because yeah, where am I at? So I got to run this clean script. I don't even know if hold up. Where's my storage tables at? Are you clean? Huh? Are you clean? You look clean. Okay, you look clean to me. All right, cool. So then, what else I got to do? So this app, the tables are clean. I click restaurant. I know I'm gonna blow something. Uh, order my All American from Denny's with the Oreo shake. That's almost 90% of the time what I order every weekend. And hit checkout. Okay, I cleaned up this payment method, believe it or not, so you don't have to scroll to the next button. All right. Oh yeah, and I optimized the order to the actual like courier found um, user experience from like 12 seconds to now it's like 3.5 seconds. Um, so yeah, so I say order. Okay, no, I say actually meant to say 3.5 seconds to get to this page, not to find a courier. Before it took like 12 seconds to get to that page, and that code is still effed up. when you try to, okay, whatever. All right, so I was going to say like found one courier, right? And so then I got to go to my tests, and I want to go to satisfy order fulfillment stages. Okay, and so hopefully I have a breakpoint after courier accepted. All right. So I'll run this in debug, and then there's going to be another script I'm going to run, which I haven't run this latest script, in which I'm trying to simulate like several movements of this courier. Okay. So
Mhm.
our courier's found, right? This is Jeremy Bot. He arrives in 30 minutes. That's him right here. Like BB is supposedly Beach Bites, which I think I ran it past you. I don't know if it should be Beach Bites or if it should be called Drop Spot. I don't know. Does that sound familiar? Did I ask you that?
No, you didn't.
Which one do you like?
Um, beach bites. I mean, if you're focusing the beach specifically,
Well,
it
the
makes a lot of sense.
the original focus is the beach because everything else is pretty much saturated with like 4 or 5 different providers. But if I'm able to, get traction on the beach and deliver food or supplies, then I would like to hopefully have people use the same app to order residential or commercial, hence their business office. So hence me wanting, I don't know if it matters that much, but I
Hmm.
don't know. Anyway, all right, so the courier's right here. He accepted. His name is Jeremy Bot. Okay. So then where am I at? What solution is this? This is test, right? All right. So now I can kill this test temporarily, and then I can go to this next test, which I'm not sure if this is really going to work. Courier location stream, because I haven't tested the stream part. I only tested the one update part. All right, so I'm going to run this courier location stream, and I guess I could just I'll run in debug mode without the breakpoints. All right, so we'll see, whatever. See if that throws me an exception. Watch the BB part, see if it moves.
Boom.
Oh,
Oh.
there's a location update. Hold up. And that's, oh God. And naturally, it's probably,
Try to add.
let's try this again without the breakpoints. See if
This needs
anything
some sound
happens.
effects, man. It needs to be popping.
Well, I plan on adding vibration for every status update if the user is holding on to their phone. Yeah, it didn't look like anything happened. Um, and that was on the stream part. I did test it on this courier location one. I'm not sure, but it looks like the same location.
I wonder if you don't get
Yeah,
signal
you
out.
see
Oh,
that?
there it is. Yep. Yeah.
Okay. All right. So translated, I have within my view model on the customer app, I have it wired up to Signal R. So even though that whole stream simulation that I attempted to implement didn't really work out for me, so I try to use this, whatever this thing is called. Um, you know what? I feel like that should work though. Hold up. 'Cause I feel like you should work.
Is it ranges or whatever? What would it range to? I would have put it.
It's a range for the latitude, longitude for, and I'm just incrementing it right here from the current location, unless it's literally, hold up, but it's not. I think I know what I'm doing wrong. Is it supposed to be fold or aggregate? Well, what's aggregate in F sharp? It's fold, right?
Might be. Yeah. What's the
And so, and then I think you have to.
provide a like a
Is this supposed to be a
C or
list?
whatever it is? I don't know, man. I know link. I don't know. I don't know what it would be there. Um,
Well, yeah, I think that was the issue. Is it keeps hitting the same location because I wasn't doing a fold. I was literally using the same location. Um, but I feel like that should still work regardless. Let me just run this one more time. Hold up. If anything, it should just go ping pong back and forth to the origin location and then a different location, then back to the origin location, then another different location. Okay. Okay. So you saw a move, and then
mhm.
maybe, I mean, this is being fed, right?
Man, I wouldn't know
I'll
how to
leave it alone.
interpret that.
Yeah, I'll leave it alone. But anyway, I got this part working. So then, if we go back to the remainder of my script, satisfy. Uh, no, that's not right. Because, well, yeah, that should be right. So if I go back to the remainder of the script, I wonder how this is going to work out. Okay, so now we have,
The quad bees.
yeah.
One of my old people I used to know to inform me about in college. They had the quad bees, um, which is what they called certain girls. It was the big. What would they call it?
Oh, you talking about breast size, cup size?
Yeah, no, it was well, yeah, it was that. It was like big
Uh,
breasted blonde beauties or something. Like I can't remember
uh,
what. Yeah.
I'm going to Google that later on tonight. So here's the simulation of the courier dropped off the order and the customer receives this page. Your order has been delivered, charged $20.98. And then if they typed in the valid card, because this is a test card, so it doesn't show up because it's a test card and I have logic to figure out what type of card it is based on the card number. You'll say Visa or Master or whatever. So then they could say rate delivery. And then they can say, whatever service was mediocre. I don't know how to spell mediocre, but
I think
they
you
could do
got it right.
they could do something like that, and then they hit send. And because this code base is so effed up with me learning how to build Xamarin apps with F sharp, it's kind of spaghetti to get back to the home page. So I just closed the app. And
Gotcha.
so I'm sure
Are only veterans using this too?
we mean veterans.
Oh, the last thing it said was "Thank you for your service."
Oh, haha.
I think-
What do you think a more? What do you think a better message would be?
I don't know. Well, because they. Oh, wait, was that wasn't the Courier app though, right? That was the
No, that's customer app. They just
yeah.
finished the order.
So they didn't. We're not thinking for their service business, their
Oh, okay,
patronage.
okay. Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah, thanks. I'll go ahead and update that real fast. Where am I at? I got so many freaking. Look how many solutions I have running. Man. Hold up. So, and now I gotta show you the Courier app. because the courier now is going to take that. I mean, I'm not going to simulate the whole courier order fulfillment part, but I'll show you the transactions that are shown on it and them cashing out. Give me a second. Where's the thank you page? So thank you for your business. All right, that's useful. Thank you. That's okay. So now maybe I should. Is this still just one other person? Is there? All right. So now where's the courier up at? Hold up. Let me kill this customer. Beach delivery customer is turned off now. All right. So launch this courier app.
While it's loading, there was an episode of Curb Your Enthusiasm where there was a veteran or whatever, and everyone was like, "Thank you for your service," and then it comes to Larry David, and he doesn't thank him for his service, and so then he's really offended by that. I don't know. It plays out funny. It was comedic. It's not like whatever. He's like,
I can't really get into sitcoms. I used to when I was a kid. I used to watch Family Matters, Full House, every imaginary life on TV. I used to like watch, and then like I guess during the early millennium when all the reality shows just started showing up on MTV and VH1, I kind of tapped out, and now it's like I'll still watch movies that are make believe life, but I can't watch sitcoms, man. I don't get it anymore.
yeah.
So
Well, Curb Your Enthusiasm, I don't think qualifies as a sitcom because of the way
okay,
it's staged. It's kind of like I don't know how to describe it. False reality TV show. I I don't even know. It's all staged or whatever, but I think if I understand it correctly, is that they come up with like a rough outline for what they're doing, and then they just improv a lot of it.
yeah.
But
Let me show you my database. So here's my event stream, right? And so
mhm.
it captured that stuff. Not sure why there's two courier delivers on here. Oh, apparently because I ran the same satisfy order fulfillment script twice, so I think that's why there's duplicated stuff. But it has, payment finalized and payment intended and all that stuff, so I can investigate when someone says that something broke. Anyway, all right. So launch the courier app, and that's going to launch a separate emulator. Do you socialize your dog?
No, not anymore. Well, he's older now. We didn't do enough when we were if we're younger, so he uh he doesn't like other dogs.
Mm.
Like he just it's not that he doesn't. I don't know if he just wants to go fight them or what, but any other animal, he just wants to destroy. My other dog doesn't care though. My bigger one, Cassie, she's just like whatever. She'll sniff dogs. She might growl at them, but she'll be generally friendly.
I'm bootstrapping this courier app. It has to launch its own emulator. Anytime. Hey, Akil, how are you? I'm doing fine. Have you ever observed my masterminds with Sean? Akil is learning C, C++, and he wants to work in robotics.
Oh, nice.
He's one of my like two consistent followers on my YouTube channel or Twitch channel. Which I don't even think people actually look at it. I think they just listen to my background music as they do their own work. and
I'll
listen
do that a
to.
lot of time with streams. Just pick them up and listen to them as background music. Kind of like being in a coffee shop or whatever.
And then if I yeah, because I do the same thing. And if I hear the person like start asking a question, then I'll look at their videos, see what they're doing, and I'll try to offer suggestions. But
Yeah.
all right, 5 minutes later, here's the courier service. It should say that there's one on here. Yeah, okay. And so there's some do. Hold up for a second, right? Because I'm scared it's going to. Let me get rid of some of these duplicates. Is there two payment intended? No. There's two courier delivered. Is there any other right to drop off or right to pick up? I don't see any other duplicates. Do you? Receipt delivered, or right to pick up, requested, intended, at right to drop off, accepted. Yeah, I think this is fine. All right. So then I'll launch this again. Because the emulator is up, it shouldn't take as long. I might outsource all this to India, man.
There you go. That'll do it.
Did you purchase Dogecoin?
Well, I had purchased before.
So are you a
It went
millionaire now?
crazy. No, it actually tanked during Doge Day and then after. I'm still up, but it looks like I'm way down because a couple times I like reset my baseline and I sold and just rebought again.
Oh,
Just in Robinhood, so it looks like I'm down like $500. But if I look at my if I look
initial
at my
investment.
if I look actually at my like start of the year and how much I'm up, I'm like up $1,000 or something.
Yeah. All right.
So
So I clicked on the delivered. Here's the report of deliveries. And then you see cash out $6. So I click that, and then cashing out $6 to some bank available on some date. I hit confirm. Yeah, I gotta fix the latency on this.
yeah, or just put in a
And then
spinner or whatever.
it says here's the receipt for $6 will be deposited in Stripe Bank on whatever date. And then say home. So that's the UX. I mean, obviously, there's other things that I have to like clean up in regards to like UI, such as this whole navigation bar up here or app bar up here. But like the plan is when they click compensation, then they get a list of all the records that they cashed out on, which looks like this is partially implemented. It just doesn't have the date or status. And so, yeah, that's kind of like the workflow. What I did in demo is the Courier app fulfilling that order.
Hmm.
I can do that next Friday or something. Um, I'm tapped out now.
So you're gonna allow them to cash it out on like a per transaction basis, like instead of doing it like as a batch on some schedule. It can get kind of expensive to do it that way because you're paying for the cash out, aren't you? They make $6. You have to pay a transaction fee to give it to them.
Uh, there is a transaction fee. So Stripe has like two kinds. They have an instant cash out where I think they take like 1% of whatever the cash out is, and then they have like a cash out where it takes like I think a couple business days in the United States. I'm not sure what that fee is off the top of my head.
Hmm.
Uh, I would think that when a courier wants their money, they want their money. I would think that, especially if I'm trying to like get my first maybe half dozen couriers. I feel like I want to make this as painless as possible. Um, So I'm not sure. Like right now, honestly, right now, I just want to break even on on my monthly expenses for running this. Um, I mean, after like maybe 3 months, I want to be able to show some type of like profit. But right now, I just want the app to be used, the app to be tested consistently. So then I can make the decision to scale if it does show that it's progressing and people are actually like finding it and downloading it. Um, so I think that's my focus right now. And if they want to cash out 2 times a day, whatever, like I don't care right now. If anything, um, I'll handle I'll reflect that in the commission that they get by deducting it out of their commission or something like that.
Hmm.
So
You just gotta switch it over to using exclusively Dogecoin as the currency for trading.
let's talk about what the f happened yesterday in the stock market. I don't know if you're invested in the stock market, but yesterday was going extremely well, and I'm like, maybe there will be a pattern, maybe there will be a rally because I've been bleeding. I bled like a third of my portfolio within just the past 2 weeks, a third of it.
Wow.
Yeah. Um, like my life savings, just poof. And then like finally, like I, it started rebounding yesterday, and everything was green. I'm like, yeah. And then like around 1:30 or 2 o'clock, everything tanked. Everything tanked. And I'm like, what the? Why is it that every single time, like taxes are about to be due, like in 3 weeks, and so I need to make enough money to comfortably pay my taxes and still make money in the stock market whenever it does rally again. And it's like I can't lose a third of my life savings and still have to write like a $20,000 to $30,000 check. Like then I have to really work for a living, right? I won't be able to have passive income. So yeah,
Hmm.
that's one of the reasons why I just went to sleep for like 15 hours because I was so devastated. Because no matter what I do in regards to trades, the market decides to do the complete opposite and penalizes me for it. And so I just been getting fed up with it, man. I'm done with my rant.
Yeah, I don't know. I only have like 3 stocks right now, and I don't have very much. I have a lot wrapped up in Doge still, so but a lot being not nearly anything like it's probably like a quarter of what you lost over the last few days or whatever. But
Mm,
I don't know.
I'll text you. I'll send you. I'm not showing my screen. Am I? I I'll tell you how much I lost. Hold up on Twitter. Where are you at? So
That's a pretty penny.
yeah, especially when you're not working. Within 2 weeks.
Wow,
Yeah. So
that's crazy.
I was looking at my earlier emails. You know how much Bitcoin I held at one time back in 2014? 118.
Coins? Oh
Yeah,
man,
yeah. I had
jeez.
118 Bitcoins in
You
2014.
sold too early, apparently.
Yeah, I lost it all on that because I bought some other coin, and they basically took my money like within 3 days, and I couldn't sell it. I hit like sell, 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 and my request wouldn't get fulfilled, and it just poof, I got
Oh
scammed.
man,
Yeah. All right, I'm depressed now. Let's talk about something else.
Ludum Dares this weekend. I'm excited about that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Are you? Do you have to get mentally prepared? It is a hackathon. Like, do you get cranky when around the wife and kids? Like, the days leading up and the actual like day of, or is
No, not really cranky. No, um, I do have to get mentally prepared for it though. Like I was not in like a
good place?
good place last time, and I spent like a day on it and just nothing couldn't come up with anything for it. So I ended up actually just axing. First time I didn't even really put in an earnest effort was this last one. Um, so I'm hoping that's not the case this time around. Uh, Actually, it's worse. What's actually happens is I should have taken Monday off, but I'm taking next Monday off for to go to Vegas. So, uh, but after the weekend though, like everything sucks for the next day because you've just put in like a 48-hour dopamine hit, like
Yeah,
continuous, and then you submit the game, and then it's like you're just so exhausted and like I think there is like like a phenomenon like post jam blues where you just feel like
it's
just
like
sad.
post-mortem.
Like yeah, because you just went through such a intense period of like excitement and rush, and then like afterward, it's like just like back to the normal doldrums of every day. But
I went I went through something similar when I graduated college. I hit a depression, pretty much the second day after I graduated, and it went on for like probably 3 weeks, where like I felt like I wasn't of any use anymore. I was so used to putting out fires, term papers, projects, like just hustle, 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 get things done. That like once I graduated, like I felt like I had no purpose. So
yeah, I've
I
heard
can't.
people do that in retirement too.
Oh, I'm sure it's probably horrible for retirees.
Hmm. But yeah, I mean, anytime I think there's just like a rush of all this stuff, it's there's this chance for this kind of like period of sadness or whatever. I suppose if you didn't have the sad times, nothing would actually be it wouldn't make the good times.
Oh, okay. So apparently I'm not the only person. It's called post-graduation depression.
Hmm. Probably same as like, well, I don't know about postpartum depressions, maybe similar, but I there's probably hormones, all sorts of hormones involved in that
This
though.
is it's the same thing. When I did my first half marathon in Mexico, like I had trained so hard for that once I limped across the finish line, I just broke down crying. Like it had took an emotional toll on me because I mean I prepared for like 6 months, injury and everything. It's weird, the nervous system, the human mind, how they like integrate. So
Mhm. Yeah, you should have run the full marathon and used regular David Goggins or whatever.
let me look up post marathon depression. I know it has to be
It's
a thing.
probably a thing.
It has to be a thing.
There's got to be like, what isn't there a depression for?
Post marathon blues. Because people, I mean, you train so hard for that one day, for that one event, and then it's like, what else is your purpose in life?
Yeah, there's post interview blues, uh, postpartum blue. No,
Yeah, like it's just strange how like I don't know. I feel like everything has a life cycle. Something that you commit your mind and body to because they're both heavily required for whatever objective that you want to accomplish. And like your body is like, or your mind is like, yes, master. Whatever you say, I shall do. And once like the dust settles, it's like I don't know. It's just weird how the human body or the human mind is like, I have no other purpose in life. Like I can only imagine what people go through post war, right?
oh yeah,
I'm not even talking about like shell shock. I'm just talking about like the whole like whatever chemicals are going through the body for preparing to go to war, and once they're in war, and then like once they're like whether it's mission accomplished or damn we lost, like they come back to normal society and reality shows and the Kardashians, like that has to be traumatizing. Like what their mind is going through, what they risk bodily harm, mental health, and then they come back to like just bullshit. Like really.
Yeah. Yeah, it's got to be. I can't even imagine it really. But yeah, pretty much any time of intensity, or where you feel like you have purpose really, and then as soon as that purpose is gone, that's really what it is, probably abstractly, right? Purpose, for you have a like intense purpose for a period of time, and then it's gone. As soon as
Yeah.
that intense purpose is gone, you're left with like this void that has to get filled.
I think it was that movie Hurt Locker. Is that how you said the name? Hurt
I
Locker?
think so. Yeah. The
Yeah.
Hurt
And
Locker. Yeah.
he came back home and then he was in the grocery store. He was just there. And then he's like and then he just re-enlisted again to go back to I don't know if he was Iraq or Afghanistan or whatever. I think it was in Iraq. But Sean, I can't stop talking about negativity, man. Like I just spent the last 10 minutes talking about everything that's wrong. I don't know what else to discuss that's like happy.
Tell me something good. Are you getting vaccinated? I can't remember if we asked that or if you had
I'm,
already.
I'm trying to get back home. Um, nah. I mean, I will eventually. I'm just still waiting for people to have pregnancy issues or for them to turn into zombies and eat other people's faces. Like, I mean, so far it sounds like there's no issues. But how long has it been? Has it been 2 months since the vaccination started rolling out?
Yeah, a little longer than that. It's been what, November when that first started, or was it December?
So I want to know who's been vaccinated and has been able to get pregnant and deliver a healthy baby. So that might take like another like I don't know. I can't do the math. 6 or 7 months to figure out. And then if people are having healthy babies, then I'll go ahead and get vaccinated. So
Yeah. Well, it doesn't show up for about 14 more years when they get autism. No. Isn't that what like the anti-vaxxers were saying about like, I understand not wanting to get vaccinated because it's early, like the usage is early. So like I'm a little skeptical, but that's kind of the nature, I think, of certain people. But like if it's been around for 40 years or 50 years and it's given to pretty much everyone, yeah, I'm like okay with it. Like a tetanus
no,
shot, I don't really want. Like, I'll get a tetanus shot again at some point. I hate getting shots, but
you don't think it's a conspiracy theory to
you're
um,
gonna get your channel flagged, man.
by saying conspiracy?
Yeah, no, I'm just kidding.
You don't think it's a conspiracy theory to sterilize minorities, and they're thinking that they're getting the shot, but really they're getting a different shot so that they can't reproduce anymore.
Well, that I think you said that happened, didn't it?
Oh yeah, it has happened. I
Yeah,
thought it happened in North Carolina.
yeah,
Um,
but that's not the vaccine. That's some other bad actor
yeah,
doing something
it
bad,
was.
using it as a ploy. It's
Well,
like,
I think
yeah,
they were doing like physicals or checkups, and it was poor black people.
yeah. Well, I mean, it'd be kind of like that situation would kind of like being comparing Bitcoin to that uh, to that other coin that you got scammed on or whatever.
Hmm.
It's the same kind of thing. Like you're using something that is genuinely good to otherwise scam people. It's
Yeah,
not the problem of the thing that's good; it's the people that are scamming.
yeah. So No, I'm holding off on the shot unless they make it mandatory in order to travel abroad. Then I guess I have no choice but to get it. Which like yeah, I'm ready to get back to Miami, man. I'm done with this. It's cold up here. I've been locked up writing code for like 14 hours a day for the past like week and a half. Um, you finish your workbench yet?
No, that's never gonna. My game table. No,
Yeah,
I'm
I
sitting. I
keep calling
looked
it
at it the other day.
workbench. Your brother, is his business picking up in regards to games?
Yeah. I mean, as far as I know, like there is a pretty good market for that kind of stuff. He's hired a few more people and everything, and I mean, it's not gonna make him a zillionaire, but it's definitely enough to as long as he keeps building, to live on or whatever. So uh, I think once he gets, so he's got like loans for, I think he's like 5 years to pay off the things that he needs to pay off. So once he's out from underneath those, he'll probably be in pretty good shape, uh, even financially above what he's got. So, but yeah, no, he's killing it, I think. But I think a lot of like these kind of game store type stuff are. He could probably expand further. He's out of space now.
Was I mean, what is his like money generators? Is it services or is he actually selling products that people actually want from a game store?
Um, so it's a mix of services and goods or whatever. But so they do like electronics repairs. So there's that things like CD or cleaning, or like if you have scratched up games discs, you can bring them there and get them cleaned up. But he makes a lot of money and also in like collectibles. So he doesn't do a lot. I mean, he doesn't do a lot of like new product sales. Like he keeps in some like third party controllers and stuff like that, but a lot of it is your collectors will come in with a big stash of like, let's just say He-Man action figures, right? And it's almost like pawning them, or not pawning them, but like it's almost like I don't even know how to describe it. Anyways, he'll he'll pay them for
Pawn
what he
shop?
thinks it's like a pawn shop. He'll pay them what he thinks it's worth, and they can accept the offer or whatever, and then he'll flip them for their retail value. So it's he could come in and sometimes he's hit a few jackpots where he'll get in a lot of stuff, and it's so big that he can't really go through it all, and he'll be like, well, I'll give you, or the person will think they went through it all, and it'll be like, well, I'll give you $200 for all of this. And they'll be like, all right, cool. They walk away happy. And then he finds like $1,000 comic hidden in like, in the box or whatever like that. So he's hit a few of those. Like one he told me about, somebody brought in it's like, I brought in this game system. My uncle died and I just want to get rid of all this stuff. And, he found this. I think, was it a Neo Geo, or I can't remember what it was, but it was one of these retro systems. And he went and looked on eBay, and they were going for like a few $1,000s. And he's like, "Whoa, awesome, cool! I'll throw that on there." And then somebody pinged him and said, "Hey, check the serial number on that." And he looked at it, and apparently, like this particular model was something where it's actually going for like 10 grand instead of 1,000 or whatever like that, because it's like the special model or whatever. So
Yeah,
he had actually sold it, and then he I think he said for like the first time ever, he just like was told the person he had accidentally sold it in the store or whatever, and because he wasn't going to let it go for the price that he actually originally put it at. So it wasn't near. It might have been something else. It was another game system, but he gets stuff like that, and so he's making money off the top of those things. He's got a lot of records and comics, and just the variety of items that he has. He could still expand into like board games and trading cards. He should really get into. There's a lot of money in trading cards.
hey Roman, what's this NBA has something called In the Moment, or what is that? Do you know? Have you heard
I
of?
have no idea what you're talking about.
Oh, I've been listening to like watching these YouTube videos on stock market, and they keep on talking about the NBA. Uh, I never even Googled it before.
NBA the moment? No. What is it?
I thought it was called In the Moment or something. Is it Best Moments? I don't know. It was. I have no clue, but they kept on talking about how like people own a moment. All right, scratch what I said. I don't know.
You're not talking about NFTs, are you? Like the non-fungible tokens or whatever?
What's NBA Top Shot?
Top Shot. I have no idea what you're talking about.
It looks like this isn't in.
Oh, licensed collectibles.
No, this is probably unrelated to my initial question. Is NBA even a stock?
Contains 5 moments. What the hell? Yeah. No, I don't think. I think they're technically a. Aren't they like a nonprofit like the NFL is? Or not a.
NFL is nonprofit.
It is a nonprofit.
What
The
does that even
actual.
mean? If you're collecting billions of dollars a year, like what does that mean? You're a nonprofit.
That means that you don't take profits out of the business, right? Oh wait, no, maybe it's not an NFL or maybe it's not a nonprofit anymore. It was a tax exempt nonprofit for the longest time.
So the NFL, supposedly the NFL is nonprofit, and it distributes the profit. I'm not sure if it really distributes it evenly, but it distributes the profit to the 32 team owners, who are then taxed on it.
Yeah,
So it sounds like they defer taxation to the actual partners.
yeah, they don't take the profit for themselves. They take yeah, which is you could make a nonprofit out of anything really. It's just saying that you're not going to take profits and like distribute them to owners or whatever.
I'm going to make my app nonprofit.
Yeah, you can. You could make a nonprofit, whatever.
Because I know Cleveland Clinic is nonprofit, and that's like in the man, it's probably like the top 5 hospitals in the United States, or let alone in the world.
Yeah, that doesn't mean that people don't profit off of nonprofits. Like
Yeah, that's
you
the
could
hard.
be the CEO and get $100,000 a quarter or whatever, and running a huge nonprofit, but that's not the same as taking like equity out of the business. So
Did I say hi to Roman already? I can't remember.
I'm not sure. I
Hi,
don't think
Roman.
so. Hi Roman, how you doing?
I don't really have anything else to say. I feel like I drained everybody's energy by being a downer for like half an hour.
I don't think
Uh,
so.
I, I had an interview for an F sharp position.
People are still hiring for F sharp people.
What do you mean still hiring? You act like that was a thing. So my first interview, I think, went well, and my second interview was with more of the higher ups, and I feel like one of the in my second interview, one of the dudes that was interviewing me, I felt like we were kind of connecting, right? Because it was more of a behavioral interview,
Mhm.
but the other dude, I could tell like wasn't feeling me at all. It was the same thing when I interviewed at what is it, Rocket Mortgage, whatever the Detroit loan, housing loan.
Quicken Loans or
Yeah,
whatever.
Quicken
Yeah.
Loans. Yeah, it was the same thing with Quicken Loans, man. I felt like it was just that one dude that has enough clout wasn't feeling me at all, and so I all it takes is one, right? So I doubt if they make me an offer. Because like I feel like what pretty much turned that person off was they asked me about Git, and I went on like a 10-minute tirade on why feature branches are stupid and how they're contrary to continuous integration, and also they do nothing but accelerate technical debt because pull requests are focused on, well, the feature or the bug, and anything else is a distraction. And I just started going in. I didn't think he wanted to hear that. So, but it's hard to like argue my points. And if you do argue my points, you're arguing my points for what is really a Capricorn shop, right? That uses, Git or feature branches, quote unquote, the right way. So I went in, and I don't think he was really trying to hear that, because more than likely he was probably the person that installed those processes or policies.
Yeah, it's hard to be. It's actually, I think, really hard to be like to do innovation in the tech space, because there is a lot of like
Mainstream
just
religious
yeah,
processes,
yeah. Like if you question the
status quo.
yeah, like if you say, really we've invested a lot of like people are getting on board the testing train and investing a lot in it, but if you start to ask real questions about, well, is this really helpful? Like, are we actually getting value out of it the way that people are writing them? Or is it just a big time sink? Um, and with very little value on it, are we gauging the like based on like how much the product might give you? Are we taking into account like the value of shoring it up with those kinds of tests? Like that kind of stuff is not, you can't really even ask it now.
Yeah.
So it's like
So they're
like
like
so
cultural fit X,
yeah,
like no check mark, just X, like, or
no,
just leave
but
blank.
yeah, I mean a lot of that would be more like the technical stuff, but yeah, I mean that's the kind of thing is that you get into these cults of belief about certain things, and it's really hard to come in as a skeptic to stuff. You kind of just have to accept that, all right, I don't really want to do this because I feel like it's just going to be a big waste of time, but I better do it because I need to satisfy some person who believes that this has to be done.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, but to be honest, like, I'm horrible at Git. I'm horrible at feature branches. Like, well, can I become a productive user of it? Sure. And and I raised some points. I was telling them, like, I don't think that feature branches are horrible. I just think they're horrible in most cases, right? Now, when it comes to regulated industries, like if we're talking about like oil and gas, or we're talking about nuclear plants, or if we're talking about like robotics, Mars rovers, if we're talking about pharmaceuticals, if we're talking about anything that's highly regulated, fintech, etc., then yeah, it makes sense. But I'm just not convinced that this is the methodology that is yielding or producing the most value. Um,
so and just to qualify what we're talking about here, so like because I've used feature branches in the last few, but they're short lived, like, and they're mostly to just facilitate quick double checks basically by other developers for stuff. So, because I've heard of feature branches being like, I take out a feature branch, I work on that for a year, and then I merge it back to the main branch, or I work on it for months. Versus the cycle being like, I branch off, I make a small change, I pull a PR up, somebody approves it, and then we merge it into the main branch. Like, what is a feature branching that you're specifically talking about? Because yeah, that's Roman's the same. Yeah, I live for a few hours a day. They're no real different than having like the fact that you're not coding right on the main origin branch. You're coding on a branch on your machine.
well, what? it shouldn't be called a feature branch if people sincerely believe that it takes a few hours to build a feature. It doesn't. We should call it a unit of work branch, right? A UO, right? Unit of work, UO, whatever acronym. That's what it should be called. Because, like, again, I mean, I don't stay consistently like employed in on agile teams, but I would think that from past experience, a feature branch, typically if someone's an adopter of Scrum, I'm not saying agile, but Scrum, then like typically I would expect it to be at least 2 weeks. Whatever that the duration of that sprint is, I expect that that feature branch is probably going to be up there for close to that duration of that sprint. Um, that's just my
Well, no,
thoughts.
I mean, like, so, like, for instance, something I recently did was add a capability to, you know, add a like a different price point to an application, and it's a small change. It's a feature to the it's an additional feature to the end user. On our side, it's very small minimum code changes. You pull down, master main, whatever. You make your change. You branch off. Usually tag it to some like ID to the ticket or work item. Um, Post it to the origin. Open a PR. Someone looks at it, says, "Yep, but I don't see anything obviously broken here." Merge it in, and you're off to the races. So versus just doing that, but pushing right back into main or master or whatever. So
Yeah,
those are
honestly,
feature branches, but they could be bug branches too.
yeah, I just don't think that the majority of mainstream software shops create short-term branches, like create a branch that dies in less of a day. I
Yeah, I mean, some of
I
them
don't
last
see that.
longer. Some of them last a week, two
Uh,
weeks. I
I,
mean, some of
I,
them last more than a couple of sprints. But
every place that I've worked at, like maybe a bug branch, maybe, but a feature branch, like I've never seen a feature branch that gets created and closed just that day, right? For
yeah,
something that is a moderate feature. Like I've never seen it. It's
and maybe that's why when you go off on feature branches, they're like, he doesn't know what he's talking about.
probably probably because maybe they're that unicorn. Maybe they're that 1%er that does it a productive way. Because to me, it's unnecessary ceremony the majority of the time. I I commit probably every 15 minutes to half an hour. I'm committing. Get something working, committing. Wrote a integration test, committing. That's all I do. That's my workflow is small, incremental, and I just
Yeah,
stream it, right? I just stream it to a server, all my commits. And that's just my workflow. And so now it's like I feel like there's somewhat constraints to fine, I could commit local. And when I get a unit of work completed, I have to submit a pull request, but I'm still going to be iterating on it. And that unit work that I just completed is probably going to be modified based on me evolving, right? And so now I'm submitting multiple pull requests for the same feature, but there's just different units of work that are gradually evolving and getting more like solidified. And so I just feel like it just creates complexity. It just complicates something that should really be simple. If I'm checking into to trunk and trunk doesn't necessarily have to be like the production, but if I'm checking into trunk, then everybody is going to get it. They're going to get notified of what just broke, quickly figure out what it is, and everybody's testing it at the same time that they're writing code and running it on their local machine. And I just don't understand why we wouldn't do incremental check-ins versus sandboxing our work and thinking, oh yeah, this is going to be a short-lived branch, and it almost never is.
hmm.
So
Yeah. Like I said, it's mostly short lived for what I've done. I mean, like I said, I've had them last basically 30 seconds. I've had them last, you make a change, post it, get a quick review, put it in, you're ready to go. Um,
Yeah.
and I've had it last, a month, 2 months, just sitting there waiting for something to resolve that so that I can merge it in. But I think there is more of like a pattern that I've heard where it is where like you do feature branches and it's like you're building out a big massive features at a time and you put everything into that branch. And maybe the difference is that if you're working everything in a monolith, maybe that's the ticket there is that could kind of work, but it doesn't really work with smaller services that are in multiple repos and stuff. So I don't know, but yeah, I wouldn't go so ham on that. Wouldn't be the hill I'd be. That wouldn't be the hill I'd be dying on for sure.
Yeah.
Um, I think somebody could get behind your gusto for like you should be testing everything or whatever. I'm not that way. I'm very skeptical of the value of unit tests, although we've talked about that many
Yeah,
times.
we have. Uh,
Yeah,
but I mean, I think we agree on integration tests.
yeah. If the
Yeah.
unit is a component, then it kind of makes sense because you're getting large swaths of, and you're testing the behavior. You're not like of the thing as a whole. Who cares about the implementation details? I think that's the what we kind of agreed on
Yeah.
with that. But but yeah, so yeah, that's better hill to die on probably
I mean,
than
they asked me that question
feature
too, and I was
branches.
like, back then I used to care about unit tests, and if you said that you don't unit test or they're not important, like I would like start raging into Incredible Hawk, right? But now it's like, yeah, I don't really care that much about unit tests, but it's to me integration test. It's not an option. It's not even a suggestion. It's something that I think just has to be done, right? Because I feel like the integration points are the most delicate to get right. And that's how I responded. So,
Yeah, cool.
but again, like I feel like that second interview, the one person, I feel like he was probably feeling me, and the other person was like, "Nah, HR, we're gonna pass." So,
Gotcha.
I mean, I haven't got that notification yet, but I'm expecting it.
You'll get another interview. It'll be good. Don't
And
worry about it.
it
You're gonna be on a
and it's
special team.
and it's weird because this is like a, a F sharp back end position
Hmm.
with order fulfillment. So like how many we're not talking about in Europe, right? I mean Europeans like they adopt that stuff, right? You can find like an F sharp developer probably like within 24 hours over in Europe. But in the States, like good luck finding one that's even available. All
Yeah.
right. So we'll see.
Cool. All right. Well, I'll uh I'll have a game next weekend. Hopefully, here, assuming I don't crash and burn.
All right,
So.
well, good luck with that. And I guess we'll catch up. So
Yep.
thanks.
Yep. Bye.
Yep. And he is going that fast. And I'm going too. Roman, Akil. Yeah, I think y'all are the only two that actually talked to me, that observed me. I'm out. I'm tired. If you have any questions within the next 30 seconds or comments, then I'll hang around. Else, I'm terminating the broadcast. 30 seconds. I don't even want to write code anymore. I just want to go back to bed. Take care. All right. See ya. Bye. Yeah, I'll do that. All right. Good luck on your C++ learning.